Alien 8 UK.
I'ma get funky. I'ma get crazy. I'ma get loose. I'ma get hazy, hazy, hazy. I'ma take a ride. 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 Take me to your leader, take me to your leader, take me to your leader. 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 Yeah, yeah. Take me to your leader. Take me to your leader.
Signal acquisition initiated. Cross-referencing anomaly archives. Pattern recognition complete. Behavior 8 online. Proceed.
Super Chat and Super Stickers are now active. Join the Alien 8 UK community now. Share and subscribe for more.
Hello, welcome to Alien 8 UK, the reality check, which isn't really a reality check anymore. I think Nicole's muted again.
I am not muted.
Oh no, she's not. It's all good. Right,
I'm just
so
quiet. Hi.
just before we bring our guest on, who is eagerly waiting in the back, I have I've got loads of announcements, but I'm going to do this one. No, wrong one. Where the hell is it? This one. So I'm going to be setting up a new non-paranormal investigation team. No ghost hunting, no drama, just real.
It's still paranormal.
So it's UFO-y. It's paranormal, but it's not
is
ghosts.
part of paranormal.
Anyway, so starting off, building up one person at a time. So maximum 5 people, maybe 6. And then just going to go from there. I will keep you updated with everything. So I'm going to bring the guest on because I'll talk about that later. So we have the wonderful Shaman, Mr. Thomas Patrick, joining us. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for coming on.
Look at
How
that
are you doing,
atmosphere.
Andy and Nicole? How's everything going?
Good.
I like your library
Yes.
there.
I know.
Yes, that is my other library besides my huge secondary library.
So you are, like you said before we come on air, very, very productive at the moment with everything you've got going on. See what I did? Use
Yes.
word science and everything. So
Word
you
science,
are,
not busy, because busy has a
Yes.
negative connotation. It's productive.
productive. Yes.
I like that. It's
It
very
is.
good. It's very thesaurus of you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, it's just memory from Friday. That was all. But yeah, so you're literally in the middle of traveling right now. Is that correct?
Yes, we tend to come back to our Wardruna home centrals in Cleveland, Ohio, and it seems like we're here for a couple days, then we're off again. We've been everywhere. I think by the end of spooky season, sometime December, we'll have been in about 20 different states, talking about what we do as our consortium of shamans with Wardruna and everything. But I know I'm going to see Nicole this weekend, which will be fun, over at the Hollow Film Paranormal and Film Festival in New Jersey at the university there, and we'll be talking, and I know Nicole will be talking, and we'll get to hang out and share some of our famous emotional support cheese.
Yes, we will.
Yes. You just need to make sure her mic isn't muted when she's talking.
I don't need a mic. I
well,
just fine without one.
That's called shouting.
Yeah. Projecting.
Exactly.
Shouting, projecting, same thing.
But the Hollow is going to be really fun. There's a lot of cool people coming. I like how it's a mix of like influencer people, academic people, and some celebrities, but it's not so focused on all the big names and more the people in the community.
Yeah. And the glorious weirdos like myself.
Yes.
They're the best. They're the best ones to be there.
They are.
Don't you think? Yeah. They're the
Gotta
ones
have a little
that make
weird in your life.
So the Hollow, that was the one that you used it last year, wasn't it?
I was
Or
at
is
the
that a
Hollow
different one?
last year, but it was much smaller last year. This is a much, much bigger scale.
Might have
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
actually,
next year.
I'm actually really excited because it does raise awareness for mental health, and that's pretty much what Wardruna is about, with the ancestral trauma healing, those types of things, PTSD, mental health that we deal with, whether it be with the paranormal, metaphysical, or just anybody in general that's having issues, which is going to be a big one for us. We're actually bringing our lead therapist with us for the talk. So it'll be myself, my better half, Stacia Wills, Mary Jo Chudley, and Tony Lima, our head therapist. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Excellent.
It's going to be good. Yeah. So
So, go on.
I think last time we talked to you on here, at least, you were still doing, the shaman thing, and you were in Connecticut doing ghost hunts. So what gave you the push into fully embracing the Wardruna?
Well, my other half, I think the last time we talked, that was still kind of in development and all, but Wardruna has been around for 20 years. My better half, Stacia, has been developing that over the years. And I just kind of came in to take it over and run it for her so she could do her thing. And I thought, well, let's get it out there a little bit more. So this year is a huge year, case in point, about 20 different states to get the word out, whether we be vending, speaking, just making any kind of appearance, just for anybody to listen. And it's been making waves. So a lot of times when we speak, up to this point, we've had standing room only in our talks. I think a lot of people are seeing a shift in the paranormal metaphysical world. People, I think, want to deal with some trauma. They want to get to the bottom of it, ancestral stuff. I think a majority of our home cases that you guys, I know, have been on home cases, majority of the time it's trauma induced or it's mental health. And those are the things that helps us solve or put an end to some of the paranormal issues at some of these homes, when we can pinpoint that and put them on a journey to heal that, come to fruition of it, whether it be an addiction, anything like that, that's causing them to see or make our mind's pretty powerful to see something of a supernatural or paranormal type of thing. So sometimes when you take that trauma away or make sense of it, guess what? The paranormal goes away too. and they get to sleep at night and they feel better and they're on a trajectory of more positive and happy, and their families become more happy because everybody's on the right page.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you see a lot of like, that poltergeist activity that's caused by people's, big emotions, or even like tulpas, the thought forms kind of taking a life of their own with the mental health thing?
Exactly, because we still at this point, as we learn more and more, again, I don't think we'll ever 100% solve it, but with experience and with things happening over and over again in a pattern or similarity, we could say that a lot of poltergeist activity is caused by higher emotion or what we put into things. Again, our brain, we don't know everything that it does. Who knows, that way of moving things, or some people do, and they're able to move things with their mind. We don't know how powerful it is, what we could tap into. But with emotion, you get emotional enough. There's been cases where people are so emotional they actually start fires just by, there's truth back behind the fire starter, where somebody could or to the point where leaves start flying up in the air. There's cases of that, just with the energy push of what some people do. There's still so many studies behind it. Is it 100% real? I don't know. But again, talked about earlier, our perception and what we see and we don't understand, it's hard for us to wrap our head around. Not everybody sees it the same way, because we all have different upbringings. And with that upbringing, we can only make sense of what we know. And sometimes that's why it's so difficult to solve the paranormal, because we're all different. We see a pattern, but do we put our fingerprint on it? And we can't do that. It's almost the same with my other profession. I used to be a criminal profiler, and you're looking at the mind of a killer. There's patterns, but we never know their fingerprint. That's why it's so hard to capture people. So.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, because we've talked about like spontaneous human combustion.
First thing I thought of, because that was out. Both me and Nicole, that was growing up. That was one of our biggest fears, was spontaneous combustion. That, the Bermuda Triangle and quicksand. We say it on quite a lot of the shows now. They were just really big in, like, for me, the 70s and 80s, and obviously Nicole 80s and 90s. But they were really big things that were going on around the world, and thankfully I've not encountered any of them. So, but it's just, with you saying that, it reminded me of the David Guetta video, Titanium, with the kid that's making all the stuff move, and the military going and trying like pin him down, and that was what I was imagining when you saying about the leaves. Obviously not the fire, but it's, I suppose it's like Stranger Things, isn't it, with 11? Don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you never know. Someone might not have seen it yet. But it's that, I suppose, mind control in a way, isn't it? Like MK Ultra. So
yeah, there's a lot of things associated with MK Ultra over the years. Are conspiracy theorists out there. But a lot of times, any conspiracy, there is an amount of truth. And those types of things of children being tested, or adults, the men who stare at goats, and those types of things that you hear over the years. Is there validity to it? Yeah, there's a lot. People that remote view, those types of things, being able to pop in a place and not be there and describe everything that's there and never have been there before. What does our mind do? How does it do it? That's the mystery. That's the parapsychology behind it that, I've studied for years, and to look at things. Unfortunately, nowadays, with what we watch, so many people watch TV and they take it for what it is. They don't take that 360 look. They said, well, the lights are going off. It must be something paranormal. We have to take a good look around and see what's going on. We have to consider the psychology of a person, what they're going through at the time, what kind of emotions are going on, why is things moving? Could it just be they're so emotional that your poltergeist activity starts happening? So we have to know exactly what's going on. We can't just guess. A home case, I've done so many of them. I always count it as a case. I could talk to somebody on the phone for 5 minutes and solve it, and they feel much better. Yeah. But then there's the cases that take months and months. Over the years, thousands of cases and all that, everything's different. None of them are really exactly the same, because everybody is different, and they put that different energy. They have their different religious beliefs. These are all things you have to consider. They all take different medications. They're all brought up differently. They see things differently. And that's why you really have to have a great interview, great history, and also, most importantly, the right intent to do something like this and help people.
Yeah.
Now you worked on a lot of cases, related to so-called demons and stuff. How do you think, that plays into all that?
1%, a lot of times when people call us and say, oh, it's demonic, it's just like on TV, everybody says demon and they want to get attention. Really, over the years, over 40 some odd years of seeing these things, it's very rare. And when you do have to deal with it, there is no game plan, unfortunately. The only thing you have going for you is some kind of faith that whatever protects you will protect you and give you the right words at the right time to clear something. I know there are a lot of rituals over the years, but as a shaman, it's a little different in how we take in the energy and what's coming at us and how we're going to deal with it and what we're going to call upon and how our spiritual battle goes. But there are those types of things, but a majority of the time, 99% of the time, again, it's trauma. It's our own, what we call familiar demons, our inner demons, our battle with like alcoholism or drug addiction or abuse or those types of things that we manifest. That darkness inside of us comes out and we actually see it because we manifest it because of those traumas and addictions and all that. And those are the things you have to get it under control. Are they ever going to go away? Not really. They're always there. Just so people know, anybody watching right now, I don't say this a lot, but I want you to know, as a shaman, a lot of people, I want to be a shaman. No, you got to be chosen. But the thing is the worst part, even if you're chosen by your guides or your ancestral people, there is a lot of responsibility, and there's a lot of things you'll carry for the rest of your life. So when you do deal with some of these cases, just because you help the family relieve them of something evil, that evil will always be there, and it could react at any time. It's waiting for you to put your guard down. If you don't want to be part of that, I wouldn't get into that side of the industry, because at any time it could reawaken, and you don't want to give it. It's like fire. Once you put the fire out, if you give it oxygen again and talk about it or keep yourself open, things are going to come back. It's the same thing with, I say, addiction. Put it in a smaller sense to people to understand a little bit better. If you're an alcoholic, you're always going to be an alcoholic. What we're doing is we take that trauma, that alcoholism, we put it on a shelf, and the best thing to do is let it collect dust and never dust it off. So it's the same thing in that spiritual realm too. Once something is gone, it's going to be there. To let it collect dust. If you keep going at it or giving it life again, it's going to come, and next time it comes around, it brings its friends. So we don't want any friends. So that's just a little warning to throw out there. It isn't something to play around with. And if you don't know what you're doing, reach out to somebody that could help and educate. I'm not saying leave it alone. If you have somebody that knows what they're doing and you could be there with them to learn the proper way, then it's going to make some of us, our jobs a little easier when we have to go into and go against these things. It's not something I want to, but if somebody's in need and has the right intention to be in need, there are people that call and say, I have this and I have that. They don't want it gone. And just so people know, if I go help somebody and they don't want it gone, it's going to come back. You're, like I said, you're giving it life again. I can't help you if you don't help yourself. It's not all about us coming in and saying, giving your little prayer and it goes away. You have to work on yourself. It's a long life journey to improve yourself and improve the energy around you and keep those things at bay. And that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. So I've got a question. So how does shamanism differ from exorcism when you're trying to remove the negative energy? Is there a big difference, or is it same but different concepts?
There are a few different concepts. You know, there's some, not all of us are the same. You know, all shaman, there's certain ritualistic stuff. There's so many different shaman all over the world. We just use the word shaman, whatever you want to do. I'm of Irish descent. You know, in Ireland, they're called farfasa, you know, for the male man of knowledge. You know, there's other countries like my better half from the Carpathian Mountains, they're called the Molfar. So there's all different names for it, but shaman is a Russian word. Where it stems from in, you know, the little cold regions of Russia, where it comes from, the indigenous, and that's the older word. Some people confuse it. They think that Native Americans, you have to be an Indian to be a shaman. No, most Indian tribes, not all of them, but a majority of them, rather be referred to as medicine man, medicine woman, or healer. So it's, you always want to look at that connotation. It is an indigenous type of thing. You're of the clan, or, you know, of the tribe. All you are is the person of wisdom that could bridge the gap between the ancestors that have passed and the living. So you open that corridor, and that's the one big thing for me. And I think Nicole knows that my call over the years as a shaman, a majority of the time, is I help, you know, the people that have passed that are anchored here. I help them make transition. The ones that are stuck, they don't know they have died. They have trauma holding them back. That's been my call. You know, everybody has a certain call, a certain gift that they're given. Can I do other things? Yes, but I've concentrated on being that person that helps the dead make transition. I can't make everybody go away. They have to want to. It's the same thing. Even though the meat suit's gone, they still have that free will. And it's a matter of, just like now, if you have an issue, you go see a psychiatrist or anybody, or you see a shaman, a spiritual life coach, and you try and make sense of it. And then you're able to, you know, get to the next level in your life. You feel better. You're upping your level. You're upping your frequency and your vibration. It's the same thing when in theory, when you pass, you leave your meat suit, your soul's still there. You still have that frequency and energy that's still there. Scientifically say we can't get rid of that type of thing. It's always going to be there. But, you know, you have to be able to console them too, whether it be through ITC device, whether it be cognition or anything like that. You know, come to the conclusion that, they don't want to be here anymore. How are they going to get there? A lot of people, you'll see them and they'll go to the light. You know, it really, unfortunately, isn't going to the light. I just want to tell you, when you pass, the reason why people say go to the light, this is coming from people that have near-death experiences. The light really is that trauma of your body or your soul leaving the body for a minute. It creates that flicker in your brain, that 7 minutes that you have the brain activity even after you die. And that light flickers, and then when you're thrust back into your body in the near death, the light comes again. So automatically they're going to think, go to the light. That's where it is. Really what it is when people are stuck, they're stuck in their trauma. If we take it away, then that door opens, the door you're standing at, for them to go and be with their loved ones, their ancestors, their whoever they could go to, wherever the next level of vibration is for them, their next improvement in their energy existence. You know, there's been a lot of books that are out there that some of our cases have taken part in and what we do. I'm working on one right now about what I do. It's taken a little while, but I want to make sure it's detailed. But we did a case, Stacia and I, we did a case, and the spirit there, you know, some other people were with us and they started, hey, go to the light. And then I was like, ugh, you know, I'm videotaping, trying to do this documentary. And then Stacia, for the first time I met her, she started talking to the woman and says, you know, the woman said daisies. And so Stacia started saying, oh, you like daisies. She was onto it. That's when I knew that when we first met, that she was the real deal, because she got it. You know, she got it right off the bat. I know she does so many other great things, but that moment I was like, I shook my head and I said, she's got it. And what we did is we took that woman that couldn't find her way to the next level, said, okay, your favorite thing is daisies. Picture yourself in a field of daisies. I want you to do that. As you picture yourself there, picture yourself smelling them, feel the energy of them. And then you could hear on the ITC device, oh, I see them. Oh, I see them. And she went to the end of the field of daisies, and you could hear her say bye as she went off wherever she goes. But that's the thing is she had trauma. So what we do is I have this thing called the timeline theory. And I try and use this with people that have passed. Now, if you're driving home one day and you had a really bad day at work, okay, and it's like, oh, really bad day, and you're feeling it, and you're in a bad mood, and you just like, the radio comes on, and it's your favorite song from when you were 11 years old. And what do you do in your mind? You go back to when you were 11 years old and how much you love that song, and then all of a sudden your mood starts getting better because you went to the past memory, brought it back to now, you're feeling better, and because you're feeling better, now your future is going to be changed because you took that mood away by a memory. So, and that's what you have to do with the dead. They have to be reminded of that moment, that song, the holding their child for the first time. If they could do that all over again and they picture it, and you get them to picture that supposed doorway opens and the family's waiting for them to transition them. That's really what it is. So many people make it so difficult sometimes. If you simplify things, especially in the paranormal, it looks so complex, really isn't. All we really do is we're helping the living or helping the dead with our knowledge and what we've learned over the years. The more knowledge we have, I think the more different ways we could help people. But I'm one person that's always going to tell, since none of us know the real thing, yes, there's experience, there's no experts, but the experience is. But there's sometimes somebody could be doing this for 2 days. They experience something and they tell me, hey, I did this and all that. And I look at them and I'm like, oh, that's a different way to look at it. Yeah, I've been doing this for 40 years, but because that person experienced something in a way I never looked at, now it's become part of me and it helps me on my journey along with them. Nobody knows more than anybody else. I'm going to tell you, I know there's people on TV and we look up to and all this other stuff. None of us know 100% what the F is going on. So let's be, if we're good to everybody and we keep our ears open and we listen, geez, somebody might tell you something that helps you. We're all trying to find answers. Are we ever going to get there? I don't know. I think once I die, I'll probably know all the answers, but I can't seem to get beyond the door when I help spirits, and they won't allow me to get that far. I'm just leading the horse to water, and then they have to decide what they want to do.
Yeah.
I like how you said that, because like even at events, we're supposed to be, the professionals, right? We're leading the thing. But you know how many times we've had somebody who's maybe never been on an investigation before just look at something differently and tell us that, and we're like, oh shit, like, that's a cool way to look at that, or that's a cool thing that we've never tried, because sometimes you just got to see things from different people's perspectives.
It is. Yeah. We really have to do that. Even if you think you know everything, you don't. Once you think, you're like, haha, I got it. Something else is going to occur. A couple of years ago, I was at a conference and there was a band of people up and they were all talking. And then the proverbial question was asked, what do you guys think of orbs? This goes on and everybody this and that, orbs aren't real. It's just dust and all this other stuff. Now, the thing I look at is it real? Isn't it real? I don't put anything in the universe. The potential of anything in the universe is possible. So anything is possible depending on how we look at it. The problem that we do is when we look at those things, we forget context. All right. So if I'm at an investigation and an orb comes up, I have to put in the context, what question was asked? If if Joe from history in this house is here, can you make your presence known? And then all of a sudden you see a dust orb. Who's to say that spirit didn't have enough energy to move the dust to create the option that he's here? Just because it's a dust orb or anything like that, you got to look at the context and what's going on at the time. So many people forget those little things, and that's what keeps you from really coming to a proper conclusion during an investigation when you don't look at context. So.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah. That, or people are just very dismissive. Like, okay, maybe somebody does have a mental health problem, but they're experiencing these things. We talk about that a lot. It's like reality is so subjective that, okay, even if, you're telling me there's a pink elephant in the room and I can't see it, it doesn't mean there's not a pink elephant in the room to you. That's your reality. That's what you're experiencing. What makes my experience more real than your experience?
You're exactly right. Stacia says it a lot. What's everybody doing? Why is everybody arguing about the ghost in the corner of the room? Yeah, we're all going to look at it differently. We all have our own experiences. That's the thing with paranormal. I think it's more individual experience. And then when we talk about it, is somebody believing us or not, if they were there or not? That's what it is. A lot of people nowadays are going, that person was fake back then. Well, no, that was their experience back then. And I always say, if you weren't there, how do you know exactly? You're not taking in the atmosphere, what was going on at the time. This is why a lot of people come up to me and show me pictures. What do you think of this? I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't 100% tell you if it's something or not, because if you're taking a picture down a hallway, how do I know how many mirrors are in the other rooms where the light bounces off and creates that anomaly? I don't know. It wasn't there. So I can't really tell you for sure, and then I always ask them, where's the other 4 pictures you took? Oh, no, I only took 1. I was like, no, you need to, I tell them next time, make sure you take at least a minimum of 3 without moving, just to see, what content or what difference there is to really look at it. We forget to do these little things and we take things for what it is, and it really isn't. So we have to look at the natural side of it before the supernatural. So.
Yeah.
Arcanum is asking, your smoke, is it a ghost? Is it incense? Is it sage?
It is Palo Santo. So, when I talk about a lot of these things, I just like to have certain things burning. So I'm constantly, as a shaman, I wake up in the morning and protect myself. And I am in prayer all day long and all that, because like I told you before, I'm trying to keep things at bay that I've dealt with over the years. And they're just waiting to give you a nice little slap in the face. That mood changes sometimes, and you have to recognize it right off the bat to try and gain some semblance of grounding. So it's a never-ending thing. So I'm constantly doing something to help the energy and keep myself grounded and all. And it isn't easy, but it's a thing I chose and what I was chosen to do, and I have to accept that. And just others out there to, be cognizant of keeping things at bay. Even when I'm sleeping, Stacia tells me she has to put a pillow between us because there's an energy that comes off me. Like I'm protected while I sleep because I do a lot of traveling while I sleep. And just trying to oversee and keep people protected, and while I'm being protected myself. So it is kind of odd, but there is a energy that comes off me when I'm sleeping. So.
Aren't you tired? If you're constantly being productive, even in your sleep, you're working essentially.
Yeah,
do you ever just want to turn it off?
I wish I could. I could keep it calm, but turn it off. It's always there. It's almost like one of those. It's like the trauma. You always got the spidey senses are always going, waiting for something to happen. And, you got to keep yourself aware. It is tiring, but I think it's for the greater good. And I'll never say I'm angry at my gift, but it's brought me a lot of things, like talking to you guys today, a lot of the people I've met, a lot of the people I've helped be able to sleep at night. So over the years, just the greater good is always the thing that you want to be doing. So
do you ever get a big energy burst? Say you just be doing normal day-to-day stuff and you just get this big blast of energy that you need to go and help a particular person. Does that ever happen?
Oh yeah. We just all of a sudden will be like, oh, I need to call so and so. You could feel it. You could feel it intensely. A lot of times when I really feel it is when I am helping people in transition. There is a story in my partner that I do the Shaman and the Showman with wrote a newer book, the second chapter of True Ghost Stories of Connecticut. We added New England this time. But one of the stories is about an investigation we went on. We had, one of those ones, it's a pay to play. People come and investigate with us. And I kind of teach and I show them how things go. And ran into we do a 2-day event and we were at a haunted trolley museum. And the first night on the trolley, I was getting this guy named Billy on this train trolley that was in New Orleans at one time. And he was like, his name was Billy, and he said he wanted to go to college. And I never really got the reason why, he didn't get to go to college. But on the second day, we went back in a different group. Sometimes when you have different groups, the energy reacts differently because of their intention and what their feelings and energy are. But this time, Billy came through, but it was pretty intense. We had one of the, let everybody kind of use the equipment, and they're excited. And one of the girls was holding the Mel meter, and Mel meter is 0.1, 0.2. That's kind of a little bit. This thing hit over 100 milligauss at the time. We feel the energy. Everybody's arms, like the hair is coming up. Feel this energy come on. The guy that guided us felt it so much he was trying to hold himself up because the energy was so intense. So I had everybody sit down, and I decided, let me try and tune in. So I tune in, and guess what? It's Billy again. And I think Billy really wanted to get his message to come through. And I all of a sudden went into what I'd like to call a shamanic trance. And Billy decided to show me his time during World War II. And, it came to the point where it's like, oh, Billy must have died in World War II. That must be why he couldn't go to college. So instantly my guys told me, just let him know. And I did. And I said, Billy, I says, you going off to college and dying for our country was college. And all of a sudden there was this silence, but then all of a sudden you could feel the rush of energy. It's palpable. Go up the car and out. And the girl that was holding the Mel meter going like 100, whatever, instantly went to 0 like that. Just like that. Ooh. And the people on the trolley didn't know what the F just happened. This is something I do a lot of, but to them, it's something they've never seen before or experienced before. Good for Charles and I to be able to give them that experience. But the thing is Billy made the transition and people got to experience what it's like. And it was very intense. And a lot of people on the trolley couldn't say anything for at least 15 minutes. They couldn't put their mind or wrap their head around it. But those things do happen, and how we make sense of it, everybody looks at it differently. Everybody on that trolley didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to make sense of. And I had a woman that had been investigating for many, many, many years, says, I've never seen that happen like that before. So.
Wow. Well, we've got a few questions for you. I think we better start because the way it happened on Monday, I had to fly through them right at the end. Just never got around to doing it.
Because they build up when we're talking, and then we have to go back to them.
I see them. Yeah, and if they're not in, if you don't put your questions in capitals, they will get missed. So please put them in capitals and add an emoji if you can. It just makes it a lot easier for myself.
You have to yell at them. You got to yell at them.
Yeah.
Yell at them
as loud as you can.
All right, so first one is from Simon. Thomas, opened or been through any Stargates?
Funny that you say. There's been, stipulations. I've had weird experiences and all that. But Stargate wise, I've had experience with alien life form and all that. And, weird things have happened where Stacia has seen weird alien writings on my chest and all that in certain situations. There has been talk with people who have done past life regressions and all that, and have said that when they try and read me, it goes back too many generations. Like somebody had told me one time that you've been here since the beginning of time. What does that mean? And am I an alien myself in spirit? Has my soul been an alien for years and just passed from life to life? I don't know. And this stargates, to be able to go, that time or that portal type of thing, time-wise and timelines and all that are a big thing for me. I really think that a lot of our hauntings and all that are based off of time. If you look at it this way, when we see somebody from the past, do you ever see the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman? Have you ever seen that movie?
Amazing twist at the end.
Yeah, but that goes to show the timeline theory, where somebody dead in the past doesn't know they're dead. They still think they're living in that past, but yet we're in the future, and we're seeing, and they're seeing it's all happening at the same time. How does that work? If you want to look at it scientifically, it's relative. Time is relative. Time is light. So light is considered time. Light years, time, whatever. And it said, also Einstein said, that the past, present, and the future are all parallel, running on the same timeline. So if their timelines are light, and light is also said to bend. Yes. So if we're on a timeline and that light bends, or that energy bends in from one time to the other, who's to say that's not what we're seeing? It's just intersected. And at that moment, we might see that shadow figure. Might be the light bouncing off of them to create that shadow into what we're seeing. So
looking around the corner a little bit, aren't you? And not quite getting there. That's why it's always your peripheral. Yeah.
It is. It's just that, that's the way to look at it. It's just a theory. Of course, all of our stuff we talk about is theory. None of us really know. But the science side of it is what Einstein proved, with what he proved. But we expound on that now, because anything that's founded, we always want to expound on it. Just like myself, my mentors were the Warrens and all that. That's who I learned from growing up. And I had to learn my own way on top of it. So what they taught me, then I got to take what they taught me. And it's like, okay, let me look at it in my way too, and build on that. We can't live off of, anybody that mentors us. We can't do it the same way all the time. We have to keep improving it on their behalf, in their memory. So we keep doing different things to try and come to a conclusion. Case in point, a lot of the days we used to think poltergeists were evil things, and now we know it's more energy and what we expound onto a situation and how things move. But there's a lot of other theories that are coming to fruition, and I always tell people it's like doctors. We all believe in our doctors are going to cure us and all this other stuff, but not too long ago, doctors used to think bloodletting would cure people. We laugh at that now, but it's the same thing in the paranormal. We look at things, our pioneers made their mistakes, and we can't point the finger because they're doing with what they knew at the time. It's our job as newer investigators to learn. Just like with anything, we have to have our base, we have to learn from it. It's like music and all that. When you want to, like rock and roll, you got to go to the beginning and know what the roots are and how it built and how we get to this point and all that, and all the good parts of it, and make our own thing. It's all interconnected. We have to learn, and we have to expound on it to make it better. Because if we don't, then we're just going to be spinning our wheels. It'll just be that little mouse in the wheel, just going over and over and over and over again, and nothing new happens. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really interesting that you're talking about, like, you've been here from the beginning of time, but there's that whole theory that, energy can't be created or destroyed. It's always here. So going by that theory, purely from like a scientific standpoint, we've all been here from the beginning of time, right? This energy has been like changing and forming and getting, reforming. So what do you think about that with like how it relates to souls? Do you think there are new souls being formed, or do you think it just keeps recycling?
Well, it's going to go back to how I help spirits make transition. That transition, I don't know where they go, but in theory, what I'm thinking of is I put it like a video game. All right. Let's say we play video games. All of us on here have probably played video games. There's always like level 1. And we struggle when we first get the game. We're struggling to try and get through level 1. And we finally get through to level 1. We get to level 2. And guess what? Our lives run out and they send us back to level 1. But guess what? we have experience in level 1 now. We could just breeze right through it and get back to that point in level 2 when we keep building and all that. So even our souls, even though we pass, we keep building, but we get to a point where to build more, we put ourselves back in a situation to improve us, our soul, to keep growing. We may come back in this realm as another chance at life to improve on something that we didn't do the last time, but it's almost like to the point where we want to improve to keep going up. We put ourselves back on level 1 to redo it and do it better with more knowledge until we get to that point. So it's almost like it's happening. Our souls are gone and our meat suit's gone, but then we become part of another meat suit. And, in theory, in the spirit world, we're doing it all over again to try and do better, or to have another opportunity to make right what was wrong. Hate to do that quantum leap type of thing, but it is. So.
Yeah.
Very heavy subject.
It is.
Really into it.
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of people, the religious backgrounds away, being a shaman, I'm really not hinged into wanting religion. And I understand all of them. I am a believer in Christ and all that. A lot of shamans are different, but I'm Christ-based shaman, and because of my Irish background and all that. And, that's the thing I look at. That's what I base my faith off of. But there is certain things that people, they discuss religion, politics, and things. There's always a fight. Not everybody agrees on it. But again, it comes back to how we personally look at things. And I always treat everybody one person at a time. So in a context of what we're doing right now, we're talking to a lot more people at once. Is everybody going to agree? No. But some people will. But then there's always that one or two people that go, I never looked at it that way, and it's going to help me. Yep. So for me, what I say might help you learn, or that one person that's not on the left or the right that needs a little bit of assistance. And that's the job. I can't make everybody happy, no. That's what it is in this world. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've got a couple more questions for you. Why do I always get the ones that are unpronounceable?
Because I leave them for you.
Thanks. So this is from Baby Darren. So, hi Thomas. Is a shaman the same thing as a Hadoke or Hadoke? I know nothing about the subject, by the way. That's Darren, not me, but I know nothing about the subject either.
Hadoke pokey.
Is it Hadoke?
There are like a lot of differences in certain things, but it isn't how you practice, but it is a lot of people of knowledge. Basically, a shaman word is like a very open type of thing. It's the person of knowledge. But there's all different kinds of practices. To be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with Hadok. So I'm something I'd have to look at, and I appreciate the person asking, because now I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and look a little bit more about them. But if any similarities, again, not all shaman are the same. They don't all practice the same. It all depends on your calling. It all depends on how the ancestors push you towards what you're doing on this realm and what you're doing for the greater good, or to bring knowledge or help for somebody.
Yeah. So how do you know, or how did you know and find out that you was to become a shaman?
Oh, God. So it's almost like your whole life. Yeah, I always explain to people that it's a calling that you can't refuse. It's the Godfather thing and all. And I'm not talking about my friend Johnny, but it's a Godfather type of thing, an offer you can't refuse. It's almost like you have to do it. It is a calling, but you have to make peace with that. There's a lot of things that have to happen. The ego has to drop away. There's a lot of things to prepare. You have to know it's a lifelong thing, and your ancestors call upon you to the point where they annoy the heck out of you. I like to call it like Back to the Future, when he's tapping on his head, "Hey, McFly, wake up, McFly." It's a constant thing. It's a constant thing to keep going. But when you do wake up to it, it's a never-ending learning process too. You're never going to have all the knowledge, but you will have the knowledge at the moment that you need it also. like I talked about, if I'm up against, in a spiritual battle, my faith in my guides, my ancestors that are assisting me, archangels, whatever, that I call upon them, and it's almost like the words come and I know what to say, or I know what to do in those things. It's different every time because I garner it towards a thing like football, okay? Or I know Andy, might be soccer, but football or anything where there's two teams.
Yeah.
What happens is before you play that team, what do? You watch film on them to see what their strengths are, their weaknesses are, and you come up with a game plan, right? And then the Sunday or whenever the game happens, you try and execute, and you don't win all the time. You might win, you might lose, but then you're seeing, okay, I see what I did wrong. Unfortunately, in a spiritual battle, it may not work that way. It's you have to go back at it. Yes, but the game plan doesn't always work, just like your game plan doesn't always work for a team to win the game. So you always have to constantly, unfortunately, change the game plan in the middle of it. So when you never know what that's going to be. And I firmly never second guess my guides and what they're giving me. And I'm still here. Knock on wood, I'm still here. I haven't lost my ability to be, so I guess it's okay so far. But
it's working.
It's just never showing things fear. You can't show it fear. And I tell everybody all the time, my fear went away when I was 7 years old, and my mom and dad, our Generation X kids, put me, my brother and sister in front of the TV to watch Salem's Lot from Stephen King, and that scared the crap out of me, and I don't think anything scared me since.
Totally get that.
Yeah, that's why, like, when people ask me like what kind of protection like I do before I go out on things, I'm like, it's just intent. I'm not scared of stuff. It's not going to follow me home. That's the end of it. That's what I rely on.
It's right.
Well, it is. It is. You have to believe. There's a lot of people, they say, well, I saged my house. Okay. Why did you sage it? Well, somebody told me to, but do you believe in what the sage is doing? Do you have the right intent? Do you, have that faith that the sage is going to work for you? And they're like, well, no. I said, well, it's not going to work for you. I could take my can of seltzer. If I have enough faith in this seltzer water can, I could walk through a house and use this as my conduit to move energy if I want to. So it's the same thing. Like she said, you have to have intent, and you have to have faith that the words that are coming through to bless a house. I don't have anything ritualistic, as opposed to maybe calling on the four directions, maybe the archangels, spirit animals, different colors and whatever, it calls for. Other than that, really, I don't have anything ritualistic. People think because you're a shaman, you should be doing this, doing that. And, there's some people to get into meditative states, they might use drums or different kinds of natural substances or anything like that. I've never had to use anything like that. It's almost like I go into my state and I call upon it and I do my work. Is there a perfect way to protect yourself? The only perfect way is the way that you believe in. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe, if you have a favorite pencil that keeps you protected, bring the pencil with you. So, and don't leave it behind and take it with you when you leave.
It's like as a kid with a security blanket or a teddy bear, or do you know what I mean? It's that if you've not got it, then they feel vulnerable and open. Mm-hmm. Same sort of thing, isn't it, really?
It is. It's that you feel safe.
Yeah.
So you need to have something that makes you feel safe. And then on the negative side of it, when somebody believes they have a curse, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If somebody says to me, I curse you, and they're mad at me, I go home and I bump my toe, what am I going to think? Oh my God, the curse came through. And then the next thing, your mind is going crazy. And then all these things happen. And then all it curses is to make you go crazy and think, it's a psychological, of power of suggestion. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind. And the only way things are if you have fear and if you let things get away from you mentally like that, it's one reason why it's going to bother you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, I was going to ask you, do you ever go into a meditative state if it's something that seems stronger than what you're usually known to deal with?
Yeah, sometimes you have to. It's almost like, for me, it's bringing and calling upon energy to the point where I almost leave the moment. It's almost like I'm teetering on two different worlds at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm tuning in with my guides. I'm tuning with the other side. We're at that little crossroads there, and it's almost like that battle. I call it the abyss. It's the battle of the abyss, the in between, the yin and the yang, and all that. I do call in both. I call in both sides to even things out. But that's, a lot of us practitioners call in to even things out. If again, Charles' book, we had an incident last year at the Satanic Temple in Salem. We're doing an investigation there. It was part of a group thing again, and a friend of ours had something overcome her, and she couldn't handle it, get rid of it, or anything. So Stacia had to start doing a deliverance on her, and then I joined in on the deliverance. But the thing was, is a lot of people don't know, is a week before that investigation, Stacia died and was brought back by her defibrillator. And she's barely recovered. And, she's at this, doing this deliverance, which is just, it was just crazy, the energy that was going on. And then, to the point we're trying to get it off, and, and then it finally came on to Stacia. And then, the thing people don't know is one thing more powerful than evil and all that is love. And when I embraced her, and she and her, we each told each other we love each other, and the thing just took off and left us. There's quite a few pictures that came back to us when this was all going on, and people saw some disturbing things on the photos of what was watching us as we were doing this. So we wrote about it in the book. If you guys get a chance, at the Hollow, I'll have a few if you want to buy one. And the thing is the story's in there. Did I want to put it in there? I thought it was important for people to learn that don't play with this stuff, and what could happen. But luckily it worked out good. But now Stacia and I, for the rest of our lives, are going to have to deal with this energy, and we have to keep it at bay because it was there. It watched us. It knows. And we have to make sure that we stay aware of that. So when you call something in and you push it away, it's waiting. It's playing the long game on you sometimes.
So what do you think this energy is, the one that's watching you? Have you any idea of what it could be or who it could be?
Well, if we want to get into demonology, 101 or things like that, with every angelic figure, there's a counterpart of the demonic figures and all that, the hierarchy, the ones that really don't want to mess around. The ones that come and mess with us it's almost like there's certain demons that are of the CEO, like in business. And then you have the workers that want to show off for the CEO. Those are the ones we're dealing with. The hierarchy or anything like that, you have like your princes as opposed to the archangels and those, type of things. And I think at the point, you look at some of them and how they're formed and how they feel, just under a prince in the demonic is what they call a marquis. And, I think that's kind of what it might have been dealing with. So, yeah.
So we're dealing with like butt kissing, corporate ladder climbing demons here.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was going to say brown noses.
It is the best way to describe it where people understand. Because I got to remember, when you start talking in terms of metaphysical and out there, people are like, you're just a weirdo. But if you talk about it in terms that people understand, the corporate ladder. What do we try and do? We compete with our other coworkers to get the boss's attention. So how are they going to do that? Hey, let me take care of the humanity that our bosses don't really like, in theory of what they say in whatever Bible you read or anything like that. But So
do you think that's what's going on with the alien abductions? Like, That Gray got 14 last week. Look, we've got to get at least 15 or 16 to look.
Probably. I tell you, I really don't. I think this goes everywhere. I think it's in all different dimensions. There's always some hierarchy and somebody trying to show off and get to a certain point. Even here in the paranormal, and it was like, oh, look at this, I should be on TV, or you know, no, you know, it's there's always that competitive nature going on. Let me show you what I could do. And there's people that have already been there and done that, you know, and they're just like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to sit back here, let you guys do your thing. But they are aware. Those higher ups are aware of what's going on. They just don't choose to engage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the little kid aliens bringing back, Mom, can I keep it? No, go put it back where you found it.
Show
exactly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That would be actually kind of funny if it was, because, you know, aliens, we think of so much more advanced than we are. Just like, you know, we take a little cat home, you know, the cats they can't like, you know, pick up a can and feed themselves. And the aliens may look at us in the same way. Hey, they can't do this, but we can. And we take them home and we're looked at as an inferior species in theory. So, yeah, there is a good possibility of that.
That's why people get put back, and some people don't, because the nice alien mommies let them keep their pet human.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Missing 411.
So make sure you annoy him enough to send you back.
Yes.
Well, I've got one in the jar, so I've got my own back.
Yeah,
they're all good.
They're all checking you out from the insides, or probing and stuff, and I don't know what that's all about, but
no, we won't go there.
Each alien species their own. So,
right, we've got a few more questions for you, so that's okay.
Sure.
So this is from Simon. Has Thomas met Marcela Velasco, Peruvian lady who goes around the world reopening stargates?
I don't think you should ever reopen anything, to tell you the truth. You know, a lot of people talk about stargates. I'm not somebody that says I'm well versed on stargates or anything like that, but any portal or anything open to another plane, if you don't understand what's there and what's coming through, you shouldn't be playing around with that. If something's closed, keep it closed and all. You know, it's very not a good intention to do that, really, no matter what you say about it. No. You know, I know there's a lot of Peruvian shamans. I don't know this lady, why she would do that. That comes from me. Again, we all have different ways that we look at things, but I'm a firm believer in, you know, once something is closed and we've made peace with it, keep it closed.
Yeah, he's put.
So she said that they healed the earth.
Heal the earth, yeah.
Wasn't the Vatican supposed to be like opening portals and stuff?
Yeah, I don't get it. Why? Why would you want to open? What are you expecting to come through?
I think
we don't know what's going to come through.
Immortality is something. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't get it. Early, to tell you the truth. Again, we're complicating things. What makes to heal the earth complicated? You have to open portals. I don't get it. Maybe, you know, who knows? Immortality.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
I don't know who wants to live forever, according to Freddie Mercury from Queen, but
yeah,
you know, so,
a long time, yes. But I mean, then you watch everybody you know die, and then you get to know people and they all die, and like you just just get tired of it. Technically, we talked about it earlier. The energy never goes away. We're reborn, so maybe we are immortal already. We just don't remember. That's all. Yeah, different form at least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get to re-roll the dice.
Redistributed.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
they didn't pass away. They got redistributed.
Exactly. So
recycled, even.
Things happen like that all the time. So.
Yeah. Recycle plastic and paper and metal and glass. So why can't they do it with?
We'll do that with souls too. So why not?
This is not a question, but a statement from Janice. Hi, Thomas. If you ever get fed up with the job, you can always become a Mark Ruffalo lookalike.
Oh, geez. Is my hat making me? Usually I get Garth Brooks, but you know, I get Garth Brooks. Yeah, I've never heard Mark Ruffalo before. Probably because my beard's so gray now. So is Mark's. So,
Yes.
And now I gotta look up what Garth Brooks looked like. I know who Garth Brooks is, but I don't know what he looks like.
He's a country singer, Nicole. Even I know that, and I'm from the UK.
Well, it's funny. A lot of you guys don't know. A lot of people don't know. It's besides paranormal, I was a studio musician for years and sang down in Nashville. And one of the reasons why I think my career didn't progress because I did look too much like Garth Brooks. I actually was at a Cracker Barrel. Porter Wagner came up to me and says, "You know, kid, you look like Garth Brooks." I'm like, "Yeah, you're like the 500th person."
You should have done a tribute. You should have done Garth Brooks tribute acts like Gareth Broke or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll do his alter ego Chris Gaines that he did when he pretended to be some rock guy. So, but a lot of people say he's a serial killer now too. So
well, I was just going to bring that up because have you looked into that? Have you looked into that?
Well, I'm kind of upset because that was my profession of, you know, looking into stuff like that. It's like this Garth Brooks won't leave me around. Now he's like told to be a serial killer. So now he's on the other side of the business. It's like, dude,
so wherever he goes and does his gigs, people go missing, and then sometimes they're found, sometimes they're not. But it's every state or every county or city or town or whatever that he goes to, people go missing in that area.
It is weird, but you know, he doesn't seem like. Yeah, I think from interviews and watching and profiling and all that, it seems fun, but he doesn't fit the pattern of somebody that would do that from behavioral side of things and what he shows.
Yeah, because you do a lot of the true crime stuff too.
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's in this first season ended. I'll be starting season 2 when spooky season kind of slows down, but it's called Profiled, and it's on the All Access Network television through YouTube, Facebook, and stuff, and a few other things that are coming about, like Roku and those types of things. But no, the first season was just talking about how to profile, what to look out for, what are red flags, how to keep our children safe, watching as they grow up, things to look out for to get them help for, just even school teachers and what they see in their students, just a lot of different topics as it went. And, you know, not only am I, you know, currently writing a book about how I help spirit transition, I'm also writing a book about how I profiled. So I'm doing 2 at once, and it's daunting. So hopefully I'll get these done in the next like 9 million years.
or in your next life.
Yeah. In my next life, as I recycle myself with the plastic.
You know, write yourself a note so you remember the next one.
I will. Yeah, I'll make sure I write a note on my soul to keep it there. So,
Yes. Yep. Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it Bob Ross, the painter?
Yeah.
The conspiracy on him was all the paintings that he did was where he left a person. But then someone did a montage of every painting that he did, and it was a full story. Yeah. So could it have been a
it's
bit
crazy
both?
that. Yeah, probably with Bob Ross, even Bob Ross, really, a lot of people don't know he was like a drill sergeant and all that. So you think of that guy, he was a drill sergeant in the military of some sort. I know he had some kind of position like that. And when he left the military, he swore he was never going to be like that kind of aggressive anymore. And pretty much that's why you have the soft-spoken Bob Ross painting. That's another thing if you look that up. But this kind of was, he said in an interview somewhere, but that's what I heard. But there's so many of them. They even consider Benjamin Franklin a serial killer too, because of a home that he had in England. He shared with a friend of his that was a medical doctor, and I guess he was selling bodies to work on in the basement of this house. And then when it went through renovations years and years and years and years later, they found all these bones in the basement. They thought, geez, Benjamin Franklin was a serial killer. But he probably wasn't. This other guy was just stealing bodies at the time because it was illegal. They would dig them up or steal them. And, you know, they're catching up to it. But it goes back where the phrase comes from, skeletons in the closet. But in England, it was called skeletons in the cupboard because I guess, in England, you call it a cupboard instead of a closet. And the reason was being is when these people would come to these medical schools and these people stole these bodies to do, scientific stuff on, they would hide these skeletons until the people that were checking on them left. So that's hiding the skeleton in the closet. So what do you guys got in the closet? So that's where that phrase comes from.
We say that in the UK. You got the skeleton in the closet.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
You also have another series about that you do about origins of words. That's really interesting, or origins of phrases. Right?
I do TikTok on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, I do Tuesday morning serial. I'll give you a tidbit about serial killers. And then Wednesday, I do word and phrase origins. And then now that I live in Ohio, I used to live in Connecticut, I do weird, spooky facts from Ohio. So I give you a little tidbit. It usually lasts just a minute or less. That way, today I did gibberish, where that word comes from. And a lot of people don't know is there was this Arabic guy that wrote back in the 9th century about alchemy, magic, science, and philosophy. His name was so long, nobody could pronounce it. It was an unpronounceable name. And when his works came over to England, they shortened the name and it was pronounced Gerber. And then his works were so complicated and complex that they referred to his works, because they didn't understand him, as gibberish. But the Gerber, the gibberish is how it formed. That's why we use that idiom now, is from that time. So that's what I did today.
I love learning weird new facts.
It is. It's fun. I love it. I love going down the old proverbial rabbit hole, as my call sign. So
speaking of rabbit hole, you talked about people say you look like Garth Brooks, but I brought up Garth Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know who I immediately thought of? Hold on. Stop screen.
Well, tell me you're going to put Jeffrey Dahmer up there. No, I'm kidding.
No, not Jeffrey Dahmer.
It doesn't sound too promising.
Bill Visconti.
Ah.
I think it's the hat. You need a different hat.
Yeah.
If you want to be Garth Brooks.
Pull up a Garth Brooks picture with a ball cap on. He wears a ball cap all the time. When he's in a position of being on an award show or anything like that, he wears the cowboy hat, like more of a formal thing, or when he's on stage. But normally in just regular, you'll see him with a ball cap on all the time. I'm just wearing a ball cap today because I need to get my hair cut.
So for us
it looks bad.
In the UK that don't really know who half of these people are in the US, I found Thomas's doppelganger from the UK.
Oh, jeez.
Who I thought you looked like from the very beginning. He's a radio DJ, and it's called Chris Moyles. Don't know if you've heard of him. But
no, I haven't.
This is what it looks like.
Here you go. And just the only difference is he has that cool space between his teeth. I don't. So I always thought that was cool, but I never had the cool space between my teeth.
His beard's more grey.
I don't see it.
I think it's because my eyes are bluer or something. So, but,
you're just going to transform based on what hat you wear.
Yeah,
he pretty much.
Tommy. He could be Tommy. Tommy wears a baseball cap. Yeah.
Tommy Collins wear a baseball cap.
There you go.
Tommy might be part of 411 now anyway.
Yeah, he's got the cool red hair going. So
yeah. He's gone to he's in Cornwall on vacation with his missus, and he messaged me yesterday saying he's in the middle of nowhere and he thinks he's lost.
Is he in
And
New
obviously,
York?
I just found it really funny, and not once have I considered calling him for a missing person. But anyway,
you know what? We have a bunch of questions, or we're supposed to have a bunch of questions, and then I go in to look at the next question.
Yeah. Nice eyebrows.
As opposed to my eyebrows every other day. They're calm today. Okay, my calm eyebrows.
Nicole's got badass eyebrows. So
Moving on.
Yeah. She uses electrical tape to create them.
there you go. I think they're
Oh,
great because you know what drives me nuts when women like shave their eyebrows so much and they look like lines. It's like it just looks weird. Just
Andy
looks
has no
weird.
eyebrows, so he's just jealous.
I tell you, they're very blonde.
Well, my favorite eyebrow person is Arya from Game of Thrones. So
Yes, her
she
eyebrow
has
game is
badass
strong.
eyebrows too. So
Yes.
you know,
And she's
yeah.
very expressive. Her eyebrows are like all over the place.
Yeah.
Her and
Well,
and Daenerys from Game of Thrones.
yeah. Well, Arya's badass because she took down the Ice King. So
Don't
the-
ruin it.
I'm going to
Spoiler alert for like a 10-year-old series everybody's seen.
I think it's 7 years since the last season. Yeah.
We actually started rewatching it the other night.
Oh boy.
So we're starting again at the very, very beginning.
Oh, that's the best. I've watched it through a few times, and it's always exciting because I know it's coming, but I still get excited. That's when you know it's a good TV show. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Shelly. It's asked in high school what she wants for Christmas. She said eyebrows.
There you go.
If anybody
Nice.
knows where to get them, send some to Andy.
Oh, God. I'm happy.
We do
what's
have
wrong,
an
Andy?
actual question.
They're there. They're just they're blonde or grey. There we go.
Yes.
Simon's
Does Thomas
asking-
ask permission for the ancient keep of the land
That's a
before he
sim-
starts his work?
It's a yes. It is definitely a yes. Respect everything. Everything. I'm a firm believer, and everything has been created. There's only one thing that wasn't created in my world. That's God. God's the only thing that wasn't created. Everything else is created, and you have to have respect for it. To the point when I own my home, after I sold my home, I don't mow my lawn anymore. I ask permission to the grass. I'm going to make you look a little nicer, and all that sounds weird. And I would give monthly homage, and it makes I give them tobacco, sprinkle some alcohol onto the land, to the spirits, to the ancients, anything with the calling of the four directions. I'm a serious believer in that, so I'm glad that you asked that question. It's almost like an energy. I feel what it needs, and I go out and I make that offering when I get that feeling come over me, whatever it is. I just did a home blessing for somebody yesterday. They haven't been able to sell their house, so I came over to try and give it better energy. The person, I think, had a lot of anxiety in their time there. They left it there, and I just told her she has to overcome that personally. And then I moved the energy, and I made my tobacco and cedar wood, offering to the backyard to kind of bring in protection or energy of abundance and maybe something better. And then when I was there, I was upstairs in one of the rooms, and all of a sudden it came over me as the next buyers. Whoever buys it is going to be a single woman with 2 kids, and one of the kids is going to find it fun to go out the window and sit on the roof. So I walk into the room. In the room right by the window, you open the window, and there's the roof right there. You could step right out of the window onto the roof, and it's like, wow, that's cool. So I think that was a good cognition of what nice things are to come for the new family that might buy this house in my mind's eye, and what I'm seeing for this person to be able to sell it. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's making those offerings and getting those visions and putting that better energy in. And when you put that better energy in, when somebody comes to look at the house, they're not feeling your former chaos. They're feeling something better, and it makes them more likely to possibly purchase that house. So.
Yeah. So
Rel says, my grass says to me, leave it alone. So I do.
Is that before or after he smoked it?
Well, I don't know. It all depends on what kind of grass you're talking about. But if you don't mow it, you don't want the city to come and tell you have to. So, but that's besides the point.
See, you don't get that in the UK. If you don't mow it, it just gets left. Your neighbours might complain, but we don't have to clear snow either. We don't get fined for anything like that.
Really? I don't know. Well, hey, if that's the feeling that comes over you, then that's what you go with. But me, I like to keep the land and the energy good. In my book, is keeping it looking nice. Same thing with homes. When you make renovations, you're just asking the spirits to, for permission to make it look a little nicer, and so it is.
Yeah.
Even when I help spirits pass, I don't just do it to every spirit. If you're ever on an investigation with me in ITC devices on, you'll hear it call my name over and over and over and over again, and it's the spirits. No, because my spirit guides tell them if you need help, just call his name. That's why you'll hear my name over again. Then I try and do my best work. Is it always successful on the first time? No, just like anything else. Sometimes it takes the spirit don't have the little watch on. So sometimes it takes a little longer for them to realize that, hey, I can leave. You hope the words stick with them. It may not be at that moment, but you're hoping the moment comes soon. Us, we don't know. They, us, the 10 hours to them is nothing. So, it's in theory. So you never know how it's going to work, but do that work, you give them that message, and then they have to make that decision. I say it all the time in real life. If you're a smoker and all that, and I tell you quit smoking, it may take you time, but you finally realize, Jesus, this person keeps telling me to stop smoking, and they're right. But then it's you that makes the decision finally to quit smoking. It wasn't me. I'm just giving you the words, and your free will decision is to do it. It's the same thing in the spirit world. So, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my answer when people ask me, because they ask a lot, do you think like a spirit can get stuck somewhere? And I'm like, physically, no. Mentally, yes. Like the same way, I say if you're in a locked room, I tell you all the windows and doors are locked, you can't get out. But the doors aren't locked. You could literally walk right through it, but you don't even try because you just think you're stuck there. It's in your head. It's not a physical thing that you're stuck somewhere.
With you just saying that, when you're doing something, you get a mental block on something. So mentally, you can't progress until you've sorted out whatever it is that you need to do. So say you're writing something, or you're Bob Ross and you're doing a painting. Please come back round. But you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to get something out, and there's something stopping you. You don't know what it is. I'd say it would be more similar to that than the non-physical than physical.
You want to know when that happens when you're living? You want to know what you do? When I spiritually counsel people, you're doing the same routine over and over again, expecting the same result. So if that day you're trying to write a song, let's say you're trying to write a song and you got a block, and you've always wrote your songs the same way with the same inspiration, but all of a sudden it's not there anymore. But I ask you, what do you do on a daily basis? So, and I find out that they don't go to the movies. They don't go on hikes. I said, why don't you go on a hike? Why don't you go see a movie just by yourself and all that? Do something different out of routine, and then things start opening up. Sometimes it's something simple, like Nicole said. I could tell you all the windows and doors are all the windows and everything is locked, but the doors aren't. But all you heard was this is locked and you can't get out, so you don't try the door. So try something different. Anybody watching, if you're stuck the same routine, do something different. Stop doing the same thing over and over again, because you're not going to get a different result unless the universe decides to do something with your routine. Just go outside your box and go see a movie by yourself. Go eat by yourself. Do something you normally wouldn't do, or something that you're scared of, and just take an opportunity. For me, I hate snakes, but I've picked them up just to know that, okay, something different is something I got to change. Am I always going to pick snakes up? But I did do that for my own peace of mind to do. I'm not a big fan of that, but I face that, and it takes away that unknowing, so, and all that, or that routine and those types of things. Do something a little different, that's all.
Yeah, that's a really famous quote too. It's like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Like you got to do something different if you want something to change.
Groundhog Day, literally.
It
is though, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because there's no variation, so your mind's not going anywhere else. It's repeat to a dot.
Yeah.
There's no.
It is unfortunate. We do get stuck that way. We are that proverbial broken record, you know, and but we have to take the time to step back and recognize that, or somebody there to assist us and recognize that, and give you the words. And then again, you make the free will decision. Like, you're right. I think I'm going to go out and check a movie out. I've never done that before. The next thing you know is like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, you're always trying to improve, and sometimes you have to do something a little different or a little scary to get you through. So,
yeah. Well, that's what I do. If I get stuck with something, say like a new project or whatever, I'll just stop, just forget about it, just go and do different things, completely just, I'll not mean for like a couple of hours, might be a few days or a couple of weeks, forget that I'm doing that thing, and then I'll be out doing something else other than that, and something will click. It's like, that's what I need to do, that's what it is. And that's, so I'd had a break from doing, other than doing the channel, I'd not done any, I call it digital creating, because I use a lot of AI to create a lot of the stuff. It just saves so much time for me. And I had probably about 3 weeks from doing none of it. And then last night, the night before, I've got probably lined up about 7 different projects for myself.
Yeah.
So, and
you're keeping yourself busy.
Oh, they felt like they come out of nowhere, but they're not all going to be happening at once. They're all spaced out across the next couple of years, so I know where. One of them is the wrong year, as I showed you earlier, so I need to change that.
It's good. It's good thing you had Nicole to. Good thing you have Nicole to help you see those things.
To read.
Yes, reading's overrated.
Yeah.
Reading comprehension is important.
Yeah, it is. So given up on that a long time ago. I don't get graded on it anymore, I guess.
Like this comment, for example, this people don't know anything. We've discussed that. This people, like us as a people, we don't really know anything. They're all theories.
I don't know anything. Yeah. And my theory will change next week, and then it'll go back to this one, and then it will be something completely different, and then I'll become a total skeptic and not believe anything for about 3 days. Then I'll see something, I'm like, well, it might all be true after all.
Yeah.
Even though I've had billions of different encounters. Yeah.
That's the great thing about this is you never know the trajectory, how it's going to change, and what you believe, what you don't believe, and again, nobody's 100% right. So, you know, our profession is like the weatherman. We never know. You could say it's going to rain and it doesn't.
But
so,
do you know what I do you know what I love about all of this is it used to bug me at first, but now I think it's one of the best things about it is how much it contradicts itself. Because in a way, it doesn't matter what you say or do, it will contradict itself and then go back. So you're kind of covered on no matter what you say. You're covered from day one right the way to the end. Not that you do anyway, but you know what I mean. It's like you can, like we just said, you can say have one theory 1 minute, and the next you talk to somebody else and get, oh, well, their take on it is this, or maybe it's not that. What if it's this instead?
Yeah.
And that's what I love. It's a variation of so many different things that are constantly contradicting each other, but every single one makes sense to a degree.
Yeah, with the right intention and all that, and the study and going down the rabbit hole, you have the right to change your mind in theory. You know, nobody should judge you for that, because that's the thing is we're constantly learning things. So we're constantly influenced by things to change our way of seeing. You know, the skeptic comes in and all of a sudden something happens. They're not skeptic anymore. You know, those types of things that happen. Yeah, we have to be open to it, but still skeptical the same way. That's why I describe myself as the open-minded skeptic. So it's still, you know, is it possible? Yes. Is it may not be? Yes. So you battle with that all the time. So you're doing the whole battle with, but when you battle yourself like that, you do come up with those theories and how you perceive your own personal experiences. Somebody else could say, I see it this way. And again, like I said before, all of us are not brought up the same way. We all have different different experiences as we go through our childhood into adulthood, things and how we perceive. And that's what we put on what we say, or perceptions to others and all that. Nobody's right or wrong. We're all just brought up differently and see things in a different way. That's all it is. Again, Tua, you could look at a ghost in the corner, and because it's something you've never seen before, but both of you see it at the same time, I could take you both into a separate room and you both describe it totally different, because the only way you can make sense of it is from what you learned growing up. So it's almost like the movie Slumdog Millionaire. Okay. So he finally gets to this. Yeah. He comes to get to the, spoiler alert again. He's on the $1 million show, and he gets the $1 million question. And the question nobody would know, but he did, because that's how he was brought up. So it was something so simple that what he's used to growing up that made the answer easy. We're all have different experiences. So again, you never know. We're going to describe something differently. Is that person right than the other? No, it's just based off of what they grew up with and what they perceive. So,
I think it takes a really intelligent person to admit that, they could be wrong about something and not get stuck in their way of thinking, because a lot of people, will dig in and say, nope, I'm right. This is what I think. I'm not changing. You can show me all the evidence to the contrary, but nope, it doesn't confirm what I think. So it's wrong.
That's egos, isn't it? Really, more than anything else.
It is. That's the thing is you got to look at it this way in the paranormal. That you want to know the thing about the paranormal, everything's even. You're right and wrong all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Because my battle, you saying about battles, is I won't have anything happen. Could be weeks, months, years, whatever, and I'm like, so all them, and I'll be there just in my head, like, did all them other encounters actually happen, or did I imagine it? Maybe none of this ever existed, and I just imagined this stuff, and it never really happened. What if it's that? And I go through these phases probably more often than I should, but I'm not scared of admitting it, because it's about 2 weeks, so I'm like, what if it's never happened? What if none of this exists and we're just wasting our time trying to find something that's not even here?
Well, that's the whole thing, is we're not wasting our time. We're really not wasting our time. It's the chase. It's the chase. It's the theories that we come up with, because none of us are ever going to come up with a foolproof answer. It's not like people look up at the sky and say the sky is blue. But, I know still there'll be people arguing about that too, but majority of people in general will say the sky is blue on a clear day.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in the paranormal, not everybody says a ghost is this, a ghost is that, or this is this and this is that. Not everybody agrees with that. But are they wrong? No. Are they right? No. It's so hard to explain to somebody that really isn't into this field of why are you in a field where there is no answers. Or really, you hope there'll be answers, but then paranormal becomes normal after that, and why are we even chasing it then? So.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other things I was going to say, but it might be safer for me to not speak right now, so I'm not going to.
And that's an off-air comment.
What's Andy? You looking to take a dive into the weird? You looking to go down?
No, it was more. So then I'll be flicking through the TV, and some of these paranormal TV shows will pop up, and I'll be watching it, and I'm like, are you guys for real? Is this really what you're saying, and you're saying it on camera, and you're getting paid for saying this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, how did that even become a thing? Not all of them. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really, really bad.
Some of the Ancient Aliens episodes are like so far out there. It's like there's currently mole people living underneath your feet.
Yeah.
Like
I'm people as well. Don't forget.
I'm one of those that I'll never say it doesn't. I'll say it does. I'll never say something doesn't exist. I've never seen it, but I'm never going to tell somebody that you're full of what, because I don't know. Because one of these days I see it and then I'm like, oh, they were right. Anything, cryptids, aliens, anything you could think of, the weird, supernatural, unexplained. There's places of this world we've never been into underwater, leagues under the water. There could be, they said, aliens living under the water for years and we don't know, and that's where they come. There's so many different theories.
Yeah.
And again, I still say it, God is the only thing that wasn't created. Everything else was. Who's to say he was having a fun day and say, hey, I think I'm going to put aliens under the water? Who are we to, give limits to what's created? So we can't. We don't know. Yeah. None of us know.
It's more, I'm just going to dig myself out of this hole that I've just done, but it's more like when something happens, ladders broke and shovels snapped, everything. So it's like they'll go into haunted location and they'll be talking to the people that are living there or whoever's renting the property, whatever. And they'll tell them what's going on. And these TV personalities are going, oh yeah, 100%, it's this. It's a demon. It's a demon from... And they'll come up with like a time period of like, say, medieval or World War One, whatever. And it's like, how can you get that information? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't see when you get the final cut of the TV edit, but how are you getting all that from what you've seen and what you've been told? That's what I can't get my head around.
Well, I have a lot of friends and myself, we've all been on TV shows and stuff like that. And really the way I'm going to look at it, and this is what I'll tell you, a lot of the shows are they're getting paid to do these shows. A lot of times it's entertainment, but then the producers of these shows that aren't investigators, they're just doing this for the network, do change things, put keywords in there because they're looking for ratings. So, of course, they're going to say the D word to get ratings and all this other stuff. Are there people that don't agree with it? There's the few people I've known that because of their integrity, the way the show was going, decided to leave the show.
Oh, I know. I know a few like that.
I'm not going to throw any names out there, but the thing is it all depends. And I know in the past there's been some people that have been on ghost shows that weren't even ghost investigators. They looked good for the show and they were actors and they put them in and they learned on the fly. But then some of them have stuck with it. But the thing is you don't know. And again, an episode, you're getting, 38, 40 minutes, put commercials in of something they've filmed over like 3 days to a week. And that's the footage. So you're getting all the good stuff. So that's why when people go on investigations, like, well, nothing's going on. Yeah, you got to sit here for a few hours for something to happen.
10 weeks.
And then if you're lucky, one or two little things will happen. It's not like you see on TV. And people don't realize that they also go back and are like, okay, I need your reaction to this again. Or let's, kind of recreate what just happened because we didn't catch it. Or from a different angle.
At least 10 times.
I've been on shows where you had to pretend to be shocked again because they didn't have the right camera angle. For me, I just want to go on and do our investigation, film it, and whatever happens, happens. But a lot of times, some of the stuff, the really good stuff, gets cut and put on the cutting room floor where it really pulled the show together, but they didn't put it in because they wanted to use that because for them that made sense. But really, it didn't. I've been on, the show I was on. It's like a few things that got cut, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't agree with that. It could have made good TV, but
I know
they have a storyline that they have to follow or a certain narrative that they're trying to okay, we're going to follow only things that support this specific story, or we can't put this in because it's too recent and there might be, family members still alive and we have to be sensitive. So it kind of skews the plot.
And it's also HIPAA laws with a lot of things too, that the kids having mental health issues and you can't talk about that on the show. That's got to be cut out, or things that you're counseling family on, or all that stuff has to be cut out. Of course, I understand all that. But sometimes the storyline, and there's certain things that happen. It's like, man, you should put that on TV because that people would want to watch that. And unfortunately, it's on a cutting room floor somewhere, never probably to be seen. So it's just the experience there for the people that are on the show and experienced it. So that's all about you're going to get.
No, but I know of people that good source people that are in the world of the paranormal that have been offered like a life-changing amount of money to say something, basically to lie about what's going on.
Mhm.
And because of how true they are to the subject, they've turned it down. It's like, no, I'm not going to lie just to line my own pocket.
Yeah.
I want the truth to be put out there. And
Yeah.
there's probably more people that have done that than haven't.
There's one thing you don't have control over, and that's your reputation. The only thing you have control over really is your integrity. So, nobody could judge you on that except for yourself. People could say all they want about you and what they think and they know, especially some of these people on TV. Some of us personally know people, but most of us don't really personally know what affects their lives, why they are the way they are. And for us to be judgmental, we can't judge people that way unless they make it apparently known. But I'm one of those guys, I treat everybody the same, but if you're a jerk to me, then you're a jerk, and I'm just not going to have coffee with you. So that's that. There are people that do some crazy stuff in this world, and I don't have time for that. As a shaman, there's people that come into my life, and when that time is over, I move on, and they should move on too. That's just the way it is. Even some of the shows, I like some of the shows. Some of them are cool, some of them aren't. But really, I've gotten to know a lot of people that are on the shows, and there's some of them that I'll never have coffee with, but some of them I call personal friends and mentors. Everybody's different. It's like any profession.
Yep.
Any profession, there's always going to be that one person that screws it up for everybody else. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we had a meeting in work this morning, and
yeah,
but I wasn't that one person, by the way. Can I just point that out? Or your fingers start pointing. It definitely wasn't me. Weren't me. Yeah. So
we all screw up. We just have to learn from it. We all screw up, learn from it. We all say stupid stuff once in a while, and we just own it. That's the funny thing is I've heard, and I know when people that are in this industry, the one thing when something is said, sometimes you have to. It's easier to own it than to try and talk your way out of it, because then you start telling people, take it out of context, and then it just gets worse. So just own it, leave it alone, and move on. So
I do it every week. I'm here at least twice a week, and I do it live, so I can't even edit it out. Once it's on it, and that's it. It's done. So
that's why I like lives. It's real. It's what really happened in real time, whether it's a podcast or an investigation. It's real time what's happening.
Yeah.
Stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes crazy.
Yeah. You can't hide, It's like when I was playing music and all that, and I was in like bands, and sometimes you mess up a little bit. The band's so loud you can't really notice it. But then when I started doing my career, just singing acoustic with a microphone, you can't hide. So it becomes a whole different thing. So the mistakes are there. You got to own them, and you just got to keep going forward. Same thing. If I stop playing the song, then it looks more like a mistake than anything. You could
just keep
just
going.
Laugh it off and keep playing. Yeah, just keep going. Anything in life, you make a mistake, learn from it, keep going. So that's it.
Definitely.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Yep.
Well, we are at the end of the show, unfortunately. So thank you, Thomas, so much for coming on. It's unfortunate that the other half got called to called away at the last minute, but hopefully next time.
I know. I think that happened last time I was on. Charles wasn't with me because of something. So, but But Stacia is. I'll take the moment. Me, after all these years, I know she's my better half. I don't have to blow smoke or anything. If anybody's ever experienced a reading from Stacia, it's life altering. If that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
There are people, when I met her, that fly from other countries just to sit with her.
Wow.
And, and people that are watching right now, they're going to be at the Holler, are going to get an opportunity to sit with her. and it's very inexpensive. I don't know why she doesn't charge more, but she always wants to make sure that people can afford the healing and afford, be able to get the message. And that's enough for her. And I know that's enough for me. And on top of us being, co-founders of Wardruna, but everybody in Wardruna we call a co-founder. She's gotten the message years ago, and it's always been a we and not an I. And I think that's why we're able to bring message, we're able to bring healing and all that, because somebody comes in, that might have been a vet, and I wasn't a vet, but I do have somebody in my Rolodex that could help them that was a vet, that understands, where they're coming from, what they went through, and it's easier to bring them through the process. Just with anything. We have somebody, any practitioner for anybody, whether it be Reiki, hypnosis, sitting with a therapist doing EMDR, DBR, which are more not talk therapy. It's more of getting through the mind and breaking that synapse and restructuring how your signals fire off in your brain on a natural level. So there's so many different things that we do, and everything's HIPAA protected. There's so many different things. We do work with the Cleveland Clinic, the VA, everything you could think of. The VA has sent us several cases, and some of them have turned out to be jinn cases, where a lot of these military men over in the Middle East are bringing these things back with them as attachments, and it gets pretty wild. I'll still call Stasia's the queen of the jinn, so she just knows how to deal with them. And that's another story for another time. But it's quite amazing, and being able to live in the same house as Stacia, I'm blown away every day. I get up and we sit there and talk over a cup of coffee, and just my gifts, her gifts. We're both shaman, but we're both different, and I think because of that is what makes us a good duo. And that leadership, along with all the leaders of Wardruna, is what makes it such a great unit to be able to bring healing to other people that are looking for it. And I'm not going to come and find you. You come find us, because you have to want to do the work, and we're going to walk you through and put you in the right direction.
Yep. Perfect.
And just real quick, where can everybody find you?
I don't want anybody to find me. No, kidding. I'm hiding.
In a hole. Digging.
In a hole.
Yeah, well, Facebook, Thomas Patrick, which Andy found out. So it's a little harder to find me when I don't put my last name in there anymore. Archangel the Paranormal on TikTok and all the other stuff. Our website is being redone, so that'll be up soon. That'll be www.wardruna.net. We're going to start putting up classes and all that in the future. We're still uploading a few things, so it's kind of offline right now. But just email me, archangeltheparanormal@gmail.com.
I've put all your links in the description anyway. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll find it there.
Okay, good. You know where else you could find me? In New Jersey this weekend with our friend Nicole. We'll all be together. We'll be at the Hollow. I'm going to be at the Underworld Culture Con in Scranton after that. Even though I can't be in Connecticut this weekend because I'll be in New Jersey, my Shaman and the Showman is going to be running a psychic fair. That's going to be in Portland, Connecticut, at the brewery there, and it's escaping me. But just go on Charles Rosenet or myself, and you'll see the advertisement. That's going on. There's so many things that are going on. Now, probably the most important one going on that all your listeners need to know and tune in on October 3rd. As the dog barks, the dog's excited. So on October 3rd, Stacia, myself, the Hollywood psychic Kenneth Drake, and Mary Jo Chudley, founder of Penn Paranormal and Twisted Dolls, us four are going to attempt to break a world record for the largest online streaming seance. That'll be at the Grand Midway Hotel. The seance will be happening on the roof on top of the current Guinness Book of World Records largest talking or Ouija board in the world. So they'll be on there. Stacia and Kenneth will be up on the roof. Simultaneously, Mary Jo and I will be doing an investigation to see if anything comes through that's channeled with our investigation. And also all the people streaming will be immersive. So if something comes through to you, you'll chime in, and our friend Tim Shaw will be running through his place, everything coming in, and he'll be corresponding with us. This will all be carried on Facebook, and it'll be on Paraflix's Facebook, because we're going to be having Paraflix helping us out with their bigger audience. And we need to get at least 9,317 plus people to do that, to get the record. But also we're letting 30 lucky people come and investigate with us. There's tickets online. And if you get to come and for some reason we break the record, you will get a certificate of participation in that record to hang up and frame in your room or whatever. Yeah. And the thing is the reason why we're doing it is Stacia's son, Stephen, passed away 8 years ago. And the day that we came up with the idea, it was Stacia that came up with the idea. She's like, felt her son with her that day for some reason, like kind of rubbing her back. She goes into the shower and had the vision of being with Kenneth Drake on top of the roof of the Grand Midway, calls up Blair, who owns the Grand Midway, and, said, hey, can we do this? He never answers the phone. So he just happened to answer the phone. So it's all, that natural thing happening. And, she told me when her son was growing up, she says, one day I'm going to break a world record.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and help him break that record in spirit. And the crazy thing is he asked us, hey, can you do it on the 2nd? And Stacia said no. And, we decided to do it on the 3rd because October 2nd would have been his 30th birthday. So it's crazy. But, we're also doing the following weekend in Connecticut, in Meriden. We're doing Bound Together. It's a authors event. But later on that night, a ticketed event will be for a gallery by Kenneth Drake again, and Stacia hopefully will be new record holders. And then at night, Mary Jo and I will be doing a supernatural investigation of a 200-plus-year-old building that's very haunted. Wow. This is coming together. But if you want to, come and visit the authors and hear them talk, all you have to do is donate pet supplies, pet food or supplies or anything like that. So it's a fundraiser for pets. Because again, it's also for Stacia's son. They've been doing this, for years. And then when he passed, Stacia kept doing it and raised all this, pet food and all that, because her son was a regular Dr. Doolittle. He loved to rescue pets to the point Stacia one year after the 4th of July walks into the bathroom in the middle of the night, and there's an owl sitting in the bathroom. It hurt itself because the fireworks went off and it blinds them, and he hit his head. So his son's trying to get him back to health before he could take him to the vet in the morning. Yeah. But this is what he would do. He would rescue hurt pets and just bring them home. And, it could have been anything. It could have been a sheep or something, just trying to, because he felt bad. He wanted to help them. So we continue on by helping animals through his memory. So the authors, he was an avid reader. He had a genius IQ, and it's just to keep his memory alive and all that. So that's why a lot of these things go on, and I'm honored to be able to help, Stacia, make those happen and in his memory. Because from all the stories I heard, he was one of the best kids you'll ever meet. So, yeah.
Right.
So make sure you join us. Everything's online. Follow me online. You'll see them.
Yep. Perfect. Right. Thank you so much for all of that. Like I said, all your details are in the description. Nicole is muted yet again.
I am muted. I said, go follow Thomas so you can check out all those events, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys Saturday at the Hollow.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Right. Yeah. Got to end it because there's a dog sat outside the door waiting to go out for a walk. He knows. Same time every Wednesday and Monday. So thank you so much again for coming on. We'll get you back on again soon once you've done all these billion other different things that you've got going on. There's no stream on Friday. Be back on Monday where we're going to be doing the Rendlesham group. So all of us that are going camping, we're going to be coming on and talking about what we've had go on in the past and what we've got coming up when we go to Rendlesham in beginning of October. I'm also speaking at BUFOG it's on Facebook, but it's oh God, I need to look at my calendar now. It's 2 weeks time, so 2 weeks tomorrow, the 3rd of September, I'm going to be talking about my alien and UFO encounters as well as frequency and amongst other stuff. So if you can make it, it's at Hot Shots in Birmingham. If you go on the BUFOG Facebook page or website, you'll find all the details on there. So 2 weeks tomorrow. I ain't got anything wrote down, so it is. So I'll see you on Monday, Nicole. We will be back next Wednesday, correct? For
Yep.
reality check. And that's it. So thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you all the moderators. Sorry we couldn't get through all the questions. Yeah, literally running out of time. Thank you, Thomas.
We were like half an hour overtime today, but it goes quick.
I know.
It's fun.
It is. It's always good. So great guests as always. That's it. Like I said,
Saturday.
nothing
I know.
on Saturday. We have got a special coming up for Halloween, which is only 2 months away.
Yeah, not the one that's in 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah.
No,
Like
one
Andy
year
made
and
the
2
promo
months.
for,
Not the
so
one
we're not
in
gonna show that one.
2027. The one in 2026. I'm gonna redo it now. So I'm gonna be doing that. Yeah, these other stuff that's in the pipeline that's going to be coming out over the next few weeks. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to end it there. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. See you at 8 o'clock on Monday. Until then, enjoy everything you're going to do. Enjoy the paranormal and don't let it get you stressed. See you all soon. Take care. Ta-ra.
Tell me who made this, who pulled that thread. You cut the wire, now look at what you bred. Alien AUK, you created a monster. Alien AUK, now I don't back down, I get stronger. Alien AUK, you created a monster. Alien AUK, and I'm the part you can't get under. Say my name like you're not afraid. I was your mistake. Now I'm wide awake. Alien AUK.